This is Catherine and Christopher Tipper, your favorite 401 couple. And today we have a special guest, JoAnn Cassell.
Hello.
And JoAnn is a very much respected employee benefit plan auditor and ERISA compliance expert, known for breaking down complex rules into practice guidance for plan sponsors and advisors. So today's episode is broken into two parts: what plan sponsors get wrong about 401k plans, and what's coming in 2026, regulation, technology, and AI.
Now that part of our shtick, of course, is we have to have a treat, okay? Alcohol, food, whatever. And for the 401 Couple podcast, the guest gets to pick the treat. And today, JoAnn picked Bailey's. Why?
I just love a little chocolatey goodness, as we call it in my house.
This is chocolatey? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
thank you very much.
Cheers.
Slanches, as it's Irish or something, isn't it?
Na zdrowie.
And we also have homemade German cookies, which I will eat. I'm probably at the most inopportune time and put crackers all over the place. But anyways, okay. We start off the podcast with the lightning round. JoAnn understands the assignment. Okay. What is your go-to drink for early morning client or audit days?
Very
And I guess we should say beverage, not necessarily drink, which implies alcohol. So beverage.
I gather as much, and it is very boring. It's coffee. Black coffee.
Okay.
Nothing else in it.
Okay. Real work question. One 401k or ERISA misconception that drives you personally crazy.
The fact that plan sponsors can wash themselves off any responsibility for the plan when they hire 316, 18, whatever the number is, advisor, TPA, and auditor. They're no longer responsible for anything.
Who hired the 316?
You know the answer, and
Yes,
I'm sure our viewers do as well.
Christopher does learn things doing a podcast, but hopefully he knows that one.
But that one, yes, that one I do know. Okay.
They're usually very surprised to learn that the buck stops with them, regardless of how good the advisors that they have hired.
Years ago, we had a doctors group in the Denver area. Everybody was brokerage accounts. Everybody had a different advisor for the brokerage accounts, and most of the participants had multiple advisors at different broker dealers inside their 401k plan.
Sounds like a blast.
The trustee, the primary owner of the practice, looked me square in the face and told me, all in sincerity, that's private stuff. I can't know what they're doing. He didn't like my answer. We got fired shortly thereafter. Okay. What is a favorite guilty pleasure dessert or snack during audit season?
Dunkin' Donuts Boston cream.
Ooh.
Oh.
There's a chocolate thing.
Well, see, and a sugar thing too.
Yeah.
You like sugar things, yeah?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Okay.
I'm actually more like sweet and sour candy than chocolate, but Boston cream donuts, man.
And we were okay. I got you.
Mm.
A hobby or interest people would be surprised to learn about.
I have two.
Oh,
Is that okay?
of course it is.
Dish.
I am a amateur athlete.
Okay.
I have completed a marathon in every state of the nation.
Oh, wow.
Plus,
You've done 50 marathons?
I've done 58. I've also
See, I know the number of states. Okay.
I've done the 50, plus I've repeated a few states. I ran Chicago Marathon 4 times. I ran Boston Marathon twice. I've also...
You qualified for Boston?
No, I had very good friends that donated to a charity.
Oh, okay. Because in the mid 90s, I was in my running phase, and I realized that when I was 33, the only way I could qualify for Boston was if I was also simultaneously an 85-year-old woman. Yeah. Okay. But
Yes.
you did Boston twice.
Twice. The first time I did it the year of the bombing, and I came within the last 0.2 miles of the finish line, so I didn't actually get to cross the finish line.
Oh.
And if you've done that, they allowed you to come back the next year and run it without requalifying or refund racing, so to speak.
It must be quite the feeling to be almost there. And...
You heard the blast?
I did not. It happened when I was 3 miles away.
Oh,
so by the
okay,
time
okay.
they stopped us.
Oh, I thought it went off when you were 0.2. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I had some friends though that did. Some of my friends actually saw it. So it was pretty traumatic experience. Yes. So I've also done London, Berlin. I'm trying to complete what's called 6-star marathon. I'm also training for an Ironman right now because I got bored with marathons.
Oh my goodness.
The second one is knitting.
Those are opposite things. There should be opposite things.
Segment 1. Although I want to go back to the marathons. Segment 1. What do plan sponsors get wrong? What do you see, not think, what do you see are the most common or costly mistakes you see in audits?
I compiled.
Oh, she's made a list.
and to shout out to our Gen Y, I compiled 6, 7 of those.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, it took me a minute. Okay.
My kids will be mortified.
All right.
Compensation, definition of comp. Every year after year after year, I would say 75% of the audits we do have a definition of comp error, be it a manual check that gets excluded, being a comp type that gets excluded or included in error. Hands down, number 1 error, followed by auto enrollment.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I work on some clients that essentially they probably are all there.
Auto enrollment, the gift that keeps on giving.
Document retention. Oh, we changed the payroll provider. We don't have that data anymore.
Yeah. No, how is that possible? How can you not have payroll data? Unrelated to ERISA, are you supposed to have it for 7 years?
You're supposed to.
What?
You have to think that you're going to download it all before you leave.
It's going to cost me $3,000 to get access to pay whatever provider. Sorry to tell you that. Why don't you get that access? Ask them how to download everything you need to comply with the IRS and other official regulations.
Right.
And then you'll be in compliance. Should have done that beforehand. But
the funny thing is, I don't know why people, you wouldn't even pay that much money to just, quote, keep your payroll going but not use it. Do you have to actually say no and stop it, right? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. It's
if you were sending your payroll $100 payroll just to keep the data going.
Right. You would think payroll companies would perhaps develop a platform that say, okay, we're going to retain this for you for the next 7 years for
X number of pennies per person. Yeah.
Perhaps a smaller fee, so you at least
think they
have
don't
data.
want you to leave.
Well,
but yes, data retention is
the first
fantastic.
Two, I'd have guessed in a heartbeat.
Yes.
That one, no, I'd never come up with that one.
Yes. Use of forfeitures is a great one.
In what?
They don't use them.
Oh, yeah. And they have to.
Yeah. Oh, but we don't have employer compensation. But you can.
You can. You mean an employer, like an employer non-elective or a match or something.
Non-employer compensation. They don't have an employer contribution. I'm sorry. But you could. You have $150,000 in forfeitures.
So give everybody a bonus, right?
Use it up. Vesting. And that's in specifically, I would say, or predominantly pervasive in industries where employees are sales and don't necessarily clock in and clock out, but yet they have hours-based vesting schedules.
And no equivalence?
Right.
Which is really hard to figure out. Okay.
Mainly car dealerships would be the biggest offenders.
Are you a fan then of elapsed time?
Yes, in that situation, definitely. I mean, if most of your employees are salaried or commissioned or, non-hourly, why complicate your life by putting an hourly based vesting or whatever other provision that's hourly based eligibility?
That's 11.
Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have 2 more to go.
Yes. Lack of monitoring minutes.
Lack of what?
Monitoring.
Monitoring minutes.
Yeah. Plan, investment policy. Oh, well, XYZ, we just took their package and, that's the fund lineup. Fantastic. But
right.
Get all together and say you did it.
Right. once a year, get together, say you looked at it, the lineup still meets the expectations that you had when you started the plan, or perhaps change your expectations because the world has changed. Discuss maybe changes. I mean, there's so much happening now with Secure 2.0. I'm sure there's plenty to talk about and document.
I think you at least have to have a conversation about whether or not you want to have a conversation about alternative investments.
Yeah. I mean, if
you don't have to have them, but just say, no, we're not talking about it.
There you go.
Then you've done it. Yeah.
I'm sure you see a lot more IRS audit notices or DOL audit notices than I do. What is the first item on their request list? Investments policy statement.
Okay.
That is number one.
Oh, and then are you following it? We don't even ask that one.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different question.
And number 7, my team would be very upset with me if I did not bring this one up. True up calculations. Yeah. Your face says it all, Christopher.
Yeah. In what way? They're doing them too much or not enough?
They never use the right comp, because they'll pull a census that doesn't necessarily say it will pull all the comp, will not exclude the comp that's ineligible, or will not exclude the comp that's prior to employee becoming eligible. I get the benefit of true up. I have a true up in my 401k plan because I like it. But if you're going to do it right.
Oh, if you're going to be like that. Okay. Interesting.
So do you find that your clients, like, first year is hell year, second year is a little bit better, third year is okay? Or do some people, it's just like either they're on the bus or they're not on the bus?
It is so random.
So you can't, you're not seeing clients learn from experience and mistakes, or?
I have seen
some.
Those, yes. Not as many as I would like.
She's seen more unicorns, but she has seen that. Yeah.
Not as many as I would like. I do have some clients that every year I issue the same list of control deficiencies, and I ask myself, why?
Which leads us into the next topic. Biggest misunderstanding about fiduciary responsibilities.
Not understanding that even though you've hired a fiduciary, you're still a fiduciary.
For hiring them.
Yes. And if I can pivot on that and sort of actually segue to what I just said with the last comment. Okay, thank you for all the errors. We'll fix them. I bet you'll find the same errors next year.
They say that to you?
Yes. To which I look at the people I'm talking to, and I'm like, it's only July, June, whenever we're finishing the audit. Say it's October 15th. You still have 2.5 months to scrub your payroll data and fix it this year. And fix your controls and fix your processes so this doesn't happen.
Do you give them a list of things they should be doing on an ongoing basis that will keep them out of trouble?
We give them the list of the findings.
Not really action steps. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So this is what we found. There's this whole fine line of what we can and cannot tell them to do as auditors. We need to stay independent. So we cannot give them management or tax advice, so to speak.
Well, yeah.
So say they missed, contributions on bonuses. I will tell them you probably need to fix it with a QNEC. I can't tell them what it is. I can't.
I get that.
Calculate it for them. We give our clients a letter at the end of the year of all the findings that we have found: auto enrollment, contributions, forfeitures, what have you. Okay. The list is much longer than the 7 of the options.
Right, yeah.
And we tell them, you should do this. You should change your procedures. You should call Hunter Benefits and have them help you with your QNEC and how to fix this going forward. So not an ongoing checklist, which I've seen TPAs provide, like January do this, February do this, and we don't do that part.
But I want to segue from the misunderstandings about fiduciary responsibilities to our misunderstandings of your role, because we have taken over quite a number of audit size plans that are being audited.
Right.
Where it's very clear the prior TPA didn't even bother to phone it in. Okay. And they've been audited by the same firm for years, and nobody's following they're basically following only half of the document.
Okay.
And it's not mentioned in the audit anywhere. They're like, nobody ever said that to us. Is it unreasonable for us to expect some basic document following to be pointed out or to not be pointed out? Am I asking that? Do you understand? Am I saying the question clearly?
You are.
Okay.
And to a degree, we don't check the plan 100%.
No.
We don't. There are certain areas of the plan that we don't delve into. We look that compliance testing was done. We will not double check TPA's
Fair
work.
enough, but you're looking to see that it's done.
We check that it's done. So I understand that when they give the TPA information, you don't audit it for accuracy because you expect the client to do that.
Right.
So we don't know whether it was done correctly or not because
it was done correctly based on incorrect data.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I think what you're saying, Christopher, is that two professional organizations were involved in it, and neither of them seemed to do their job. That's the
part that's frustrating.
Yeah, it's just they both paid for a TPA and they paid for an audit, and basic things that even just a good TPA.
And then we point out the things they've been doing wrong for years, and we're like, well, the auditor cleared it,
and so
we get fired for it.
I think you're pointing out a very big misconception. A lot of times we get phone calls asking, "Oh, how should we do this so we pass the audit?" We're not the ones to call. It's the ERISA attorney is to call. It's the TPA to call. We're not plan designers. We will take the plan as designed. I will not tell you whether this plan is designed correctly or not. That is not our expertise.
Fair enough.
So a lot of times we get these phone calls and like, you have to ask your attorney. I think a lot of them are really afraid.
Most of them are reasonable retirement plan consultants.
ERISA, correct. A lot of them are afraid to engage an attorney, I feel like, because they think attorney huge fees and whatnot. It's like, well, your correction fees are probably going to be higher than that.
Yes.
So that's my soapbox on that one.
So then the next one is, can you fail an audit? How do you fail an audit? Because I get really annoyed when people say they failed top-heavy testing. You don't fail top-heavy testing. It's a status. You either are or aren't. Okay. You fail to make the required contribution in time, but can you fail an audit?
Very extreme situations where we cannot, as auditors, get comfort that the information is not materially misstated is the proper language.
They give you a handwritten piece of paper for the assets and a box of receipts for the W-2s and say, audit this. And it's basically just very incomplete, very bad data is what makes you have a failed audit. Is that oversimplifying it?
Having no support for anything. I would have to, if I cannot corroborate any information, if the auditor cannot corroborate any information, we cannot issue an opinion. So you don't necessarily fail, you just don't get one, I guess. I've had situations where I've been contacted. I never ended up doing the work, but I've been contacting by ERISA attorneys who are saying, well, this audit's 15 years past due. These people need to get this done, but of course there are no records. So I said, well, let's have a phone call with our friends in Washington, D.C., anonymously. And they're like, well, you're going to have to come up with something.
7 years. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You don't need to go 15 years, but 7.
Yeah.
We had a not-for-profit, and again, I don't know if this is going to stay in there, but we had a not-for-profit that was operating as a non-ERISA 403B plan. Mm-hmm. Even though on the top of the first page of the plan adoption agreement, it says, do not use this form if you're trying to operate as a non-ERISA 403B plan. I said, see, you signed this. You've missed 7 years of audits.
Yes. Well, to pivot on that, the misconception is that you mentioned, I failed top-heavy testing. A lot of sponsors sometimes think, oh, my TPA did all the work, so I already passed the audit. You just need to do this. Like, no, what they do is completely different than what we do, especially first time audits. They're like, oh, I've had an audit for years. I looked at your 5500s. You've been a small filer. Oh, well, let me use your name. The Hunter Benefits has been doing audit every year.
Nope.
Or I'm Safe Harbor. I don't need an audit. It's like, oh boy.
Oh, that's a new one.
Oh, I've heard that.
I haven't heard that one.
I've heard that. From my own family.
Oh, that. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
I have a cousin who has a business. It's a
Did
small
you throw
business.
it on your gloves and say them's fighting words?
They have a small business. They don't need an audit because they're a small filer. But under their concept was that they don't need one because they're Safe Harbor. Like, oh boy. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there, Christopher.
Wow.
Let's try one example of a small oversight turning into a bigger compliance issue. Can you think of something?
Forfeitures is definitely one. And the miscalculation of forfeitures.
Okay.
Were partial plan terminations. We sold a company. We just, all these people are gone now. So when we distributed their money, I'm like, fantastic. You owe them all the money you forfeited.
Thousands of dollars, yes. But we reallocated as employer contributions. Tough.
Probably not.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I would say they all could turn into huge stuff. I mean, auto enrollment is a big boil on my... As everybody tries to find a way, oh, what if it's been this many days and now we are started the people, so maybe we don't have to give them the QNAC, and everybody interprets that correction differently. It's probably just such a misunderstood correction process on the auto enrollment. It has changed so much over the last decade, let's just say.
And I have no idea how it's supposed to be done anymore. I literally have staff for that. I would have to ask them. Yeah.
I always go to attorneys. I'm like, you guys.
Although I know the general, and I can't remember if this is Secure 1 or 2, that because I think this is in line with them making auto enrollment mandatory, they've made it easier to fix, longer time frames, less penalties, and easier to self-correct. They have basically been somewhat humane about the process.
Yes.
If you're paying attention, it's not too bad, right?
Yes. But it has changed so much over the years, and it's like, oh, am I paying 25 or 50, or am I paying it all?
Right.
It's
very... Do you have to deal with regulatory organizations like the Department of Labor at all? Do you do that much or no?
Directly, you mean?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Because I feel like that's part of our job, right? That our clients get an audit that's a Department of Labor audit, but that doesn't spill over to you, that you have to...
No, I call them because I like them.
No,
So you have some favorite people?
I do. A former coworker is in the EBSA.
Who was the deal? I mean, like 10, 15 years ago, the guy Steve or Sam. There was a guy that retired, was running the Chicago DOL office, who was just insanely.
Chris?
Was it Chris? I thought it was
something.
Steve.
Maybe it was, but I do remember.
Yeah,
he was funny.
He was funny and helpful.
Yes.
And the best thing I ever heard him say in front of a group of people is, we try to understand the difference between somebody who's a criminal and somebody who's inept. Or words to some variation of inept, but yes.
But the reason I ask is I've heard that in the agencies, there's just been a lot of turnover in personnel. Okay. And so that when we first started this whole thing, you would have someone who had like 20, 25, 30 years worth of experience, who understood it frontwards and backwards. And now it's closer to, you can get someone who, they took the course and they have a checklist, but they have no idea
about the real world.
The real world. And so has that changed anything about what you're doing? But you probably don't run into those people.
No, if I do have to deal with folks at the Department of Labor, I'm lucky to have a relationship with like the top 5 people, and I can call them directly.
Segueing or transitioning into segment number 2, 2026 technology and AI. All right.
Oh boy.
What has you, see if you can find something positive here, okay? What has you most excited about 2026?
The fact that I will be living in 2025.
You, 2025 is behind you. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
Well, it's something that actually I was talking to with my coworker yesterday, that as auditors, we live in a past. I just realized it's been 2025 about a month ago.
Right.
So I've been living in 2024 for 9.5 months of the year, and I was like, oh wait, it's 2025, and oh my goodness, 2026 is in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say I'm excited. I'm worried for our clients about the new Secure 2.0 transition to the Roth catch-up for HPIs, highly paid individuals. I'm worried that the systems out there have been prepared for it. And what happens when they get it wrong? The correction would be kind of crazy.
Yes. But most people, if they're doing it somewhat evenly, they're not going to cross over into catch up until sometime mid-September. So we've got 8 months for most people to figure it out. It's only going to be the problem childs are going to be the W-2s that are going to put in $30,000 January 4th. Okay. Although they probably are doing all Roth to begin with anyways.
I hate to break this to you, Christopher. There are payroll providers out there.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Let her say it.
I know it. Okay.
Do you want to hear her say?
I want to hear. Yeah, go there. I know
that allow for you to deduct your pre-tax and and post catch-up at the same time.
So we're
so it's
doing this instead.
It's two for one.
No, it's not. So we've been on as best we can do. We've done videos about this. We've done client education as much as we can about this. Is that people and payroll companies do not get to decide what is catch-up.
Okay.
They don't. They do not. The document done by the employer can limit it, and statute. You have to have deferred your 402G limit or a lower limit per the plan document in order for the contribution to be catch-up. You cannot start making catch-up contributions in January.
I like that. So regardless how they're coded in payroll system,
they're wrong.
They're
wrong.
There's wrong.
There's no. You don't get to choose. Somebody does not get to go to their employer and going, "Oh, I'm my first $7,500, whatever it is this year. My first $7,500 is going to be catch up." No.
Yeah.
No, you haven't exceeded your 402G limit or the document limit yet. So yeah, it's going to be fun. And then in 2027, the people who are not paying attention and did it all pre-tax, and then we get the data in August, and they're going to be double taxed. It's going to be fun.
So that's my worry about 2026.
So you already answered bullet point number 2. What are you a little worried about? Oh, that's actually more a 2027 problem.
That will be my 2027 problem. My 2026 problem. Let me go back to my notes.
She's looking forward to 2025. We might ask her what her 2025.
My 2025 problem that I will be seeing in 2026, and hopefully not. Hopefully they've all done it right. Is the catch up for 62 to 63 folks.
The horrible super catch up.
The super catch up.
A blight on humanity.
Yes.
That I missed. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about, and how much the LPT has been causing confusion.
Yeah, I'm going to therapy to forget that. So, anyways, yeah. How has AI impacted your audit process with the clients? Has it yet?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, we definitely use more automation, and there are applications out there that are coming out to use more AI in the audit.
Do that for like reviewing the census files or something like that?
Yes. But I don't know that necessarily. And I'm not the best person to ask about AI because I'm not that tech savvy.
You're not trying to use it too much.
I'm not. I'm Gen X. I started on 14 column paper, so while I love to transition to computers, trusting computers is a whole different story.
When I started, we didn't have hard drives. We had spreadsheets were limited. This is true. Spreadsheets were limited to 256 rows and 128 columns.
So my client that has a payroll file of 70,000 rows would not work today.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And you had the big floppies that you had to put in every time.
No, we actually had the 3.5.
Oh.
I only started in 1990. I didn't start in 85.
My first job out of college was 92. And
90,
when we had to do the bank recs, and I worked at a savings and we had the 5 1/4.
Where do you think AI may create new blind spots for plan sponsors?
I would think, and I'm just shooting the breeze here because I really can't predict, but I think, again, over reliance on technology. Thinking this automated computer did it, it must be right. The computer knows better than I do. Where we've already heard reports, I forget what the term was. I think it was in referring to either like Deloitte's or E&Y's, one of the big firms product that was done on AI, and it was just garbage. I forget what the exact term was. I read it, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the term.
Well, there's slop, and there's the
slop.
Yes, this. I thought slop was just for graphics, but I guess slop can be for work. Yeah, there's been a lot of legal briefs filed that are slop. So
right. Yeah. So I'm afraid that yes, if AI replaces the TPA work, the record keeping work, I'm afraid it will just be very much incorrect. I can see that happening. I mean, we've all seen the futuristic movies where everything's done by computers.
All right, moving on into segment 3, PEPs. I do want to ask you about the biggest misconceptions about PEPs. Now, the funny thing is, this morning I was, doing a little bit of LinkedIn, looking to see if there's anything in there worth commenting on. And then there's a friend of mine, a fellow TPA in a different market, who's got a few really big PEPs, and he was talking about why he was saying something positive about the audit process and PEPs and so on and so forth. So I'm wondering what you think, from your point of view, the biggest misconception about PEPs are.
And I'm probably going to sound like a broken record right now, but again, just because you joined a PEP does not excuse you from any responsibility. Yeah, you still have to do, the withholding and all that good stuff, and make sure everything's done correctly. And as far as the audit goes, I don't do any PEPs. I don't take them as clients because my risk level on a 0 to 10 is about 1. So I try to work with
do marathons.
It's really not that risky. It's really not that risky. I find that if I was to audit a PEP, I have to gain comfort that each company in the PEP is operating the plan in accordance with the plan document. So now I take on a client with 150 companies. I essentially have 150 little audits. And guess what? You're still getting audited even though you joined a PEP.
Yeah, but so I'm hearing that's not happening in reality, although that's what seems
like I said,
it seems reasonable, your approach, but some people think
I audit MEPs, and we definitely do that in MEPs.
Right, yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I would imagine a PEP would be a similar concept, but again, I don't audit PEPs, so I don't. Okay. I kind of put blinders on that one.
Would you like to offer an opinion or a statement of where you think they might generally help or create risk? Or are we going to go back to our statement from bullet point 1?
I think they'd help smaller entities. Company like mine, there are 7 employees. I do have my own plan because I'm also a control freak, so I won't let anybody else manage my plan. But had I not been in this business, had I been in making rivets and know nothing about plans, perhaps going into a plan where somebody else is overseeing it and, kind of hopefully double checking, I'm assuming. Again, I don't know much about the inner workings of a PEP. I would say that might be a good solution for them. And I think that's why they joined the PEOs. Those companies join PEOs because they would rather focus on making their rivets than.
I wonder what the overlap, until you said that, I never thought about this. I wonder what the overlap between employers that are in PEOs and employers that are in PEPs is.
We know someone who, there's quite an over. Our dear friend up north.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Most of her book of business. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So if you're a service provider and you help out PEOs, you might be putting everybody in a PEP.
So if you do a podcast on PEPs and PEOs, I definitely will be a listener.
Okay. In closing, thank you very much for being here. Okay.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Thank you very much for the cookie. It was very nice of you. It was nicely tart, and it really was for the sweet Baileys. But anyways, that was lovely. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome.
One piece of advice for advisors, plan sponsors, or retirement consultants navigating the next few years.
Do more of this. Do more education of the people. I feel that we need to find a way, myself and my industry included, on how to reach the people that are not following the rules, I guess, because they don't know better. They're not necessarily fraudulent, like you said.
Right.
They're ignorant. They don't know better.
Right.
So doing more of this and spreading the word to educate the masses.
We are looking at a variety of different, we're going to have to use AI for this. We are looking at a variety of different AI tools to turn informational pieces into real videos with a moving avatar looking like a human and talking to them and simplifying it and understanding it. So we're looking at a couple of different ways to do that.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's short bits, because we know the Gen Y and then Gen Z have attention span of a rabbit.
Huh? Yeah.
Gen X too. I would say if I see an article that's more than a page long, I move on.
Yeah.
Or more than a paragraph long, I move on. I think small bits, but definitely trying to educate the people about compliance and the importance of being compliant and not just being, like you said, ignorance, like, oh, it will get caught in the next audit. Oh, the TPA will fix it. Oh, my advisor will take care of it. That's pretty much my theme of this podcast is the buck stops with you.
Not with you, not with us, with the plan sponsor.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
Where we should have started.
That's where we should have started. That should have been the intro. Hey, it's your fault. It's not ours. No. Yeah. So, okay. Well, okay. So thank you very much, JoAnn. We greatly appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've had a couple of guests where I'm really looking forward to having them back again. The in studio with treats is wonderful. Okay. So thank you very much. For those of you at home, you understand the assignment, like, subscribe. We've got a newsletter we'd love for you to sign up for. And don't forget, we've got multiple social media outlets. There's Catherine's Planarchy podcast. We've got a variety of different videos on YouTube for, the videos and the podcast. And we're on Spotify and Apple as well. Yep. Yeah, we're all YouTube. And YouTube and LinkedIn. So please find us everywhere. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Toodaloo.